Today's video is sponsored by LA Token. If you want to join the Blockchain Economic Forum of 2018 to meet the most prominent names in the field of blockchain, gain wisdom and insights from premier leaders in the industry, you can do so by using the link in the description of this video to get 30% off. The event will be from the 4th to the 6th of February 2018 in Singapore. It is actually organized by LA Token, which is a blockchain platform that tokenizes and makes assets tradable in crypto. The LA Token platform looked like Binance and KuCoin, but now with advanced features and an extended list of asset classes, including ICOs and asset-linked tokens. Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how the market is bouncing, are cryptocurrencies ready to move back up, and other than that, my normal schedule, which is Roblox, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisego, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA, all of those in a technical analysis on TradingView in that order in just a second. Other than that, if you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities or 5 high return cryptocurrencies for your 2018 portfolio, you can find both of those things in my premium content, and I have a link to that in the description of this video. The 5 high return cryptocurrencies are my latest edition, and it even includes some hidden gems, cryptocurrencies that I've never talked about before. So if you're interested in that, go check it out, link in the description. And if you want to start trading altcoins, go check out Binance. Also, always have a link to them in the description of this video. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening with the market here. And we're finally seeing, for the first time in the past 2 days, after a pretty steep decline, some bouncing action. And that's great, don't get me wrong, but we have to see, is this going to be just a temporary bounce, or are things really ready to move back up fully? And for that, really we have to look at the charts, right, and take a better look at what's happening. But I'd say don't get your hopes up too high. It's great that things are bouncing, don't get me wrong, but you have to be careful, because after a big decline like that, things usually don't come up necessarily in one shot, right? It does take some time, is what's the most likely scenario. So otherwise, like I said, it's great. Things are bouncing, don't get me wrong. So a lot of cryptocurrencies up 10 to 20%. We've got some really big movers actually. Ripple doing really well, Stellar as well. Tron, massive bounce there, almost 50%. Looks like Coin is doing really well also. So Smart Cash up quite a bit. And as you can see, pretty much all green here for today. So that's good to see that things are bouncing at least a bit. And let's take a look at Roblox first for the technical analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and chart the downtrend line, because this is actually a bullish sign. Now, for these cryptocurrencies, I'm going to be talking a little bit about, are things ready to really move back up, and are we in the clear, so to say. So if we take a look at Roblox, this is the KuCoin chart, but we managed to break out of the downtrend that started really since it got listed. As you can see over here, right, we broke out of that. So that's actually a very bullish sign. Now, there are still a couple resistance levels moving forward, and we would have to, theoretically kind of break through those to really consider it back to where it was before. And what I mean by that is really back in full bullish momentum, right? Especially that 219,000 Satoshi level, and then of course we have a bit higher at 288,000 Satoshis as well. But the fact that we broke out of this downtrend line over here, which is going on since the shakiness of the market really, is already a great sign, right? And that's what we wanted to see. So we should now start to move back up slowly but surely towards that 219 Satoshi level. And if I go ahead and put on the 30-minute chart just to get a bit better idea of what's happening. Now, as you can see, MACD is uptrending, RSI going back towards that 70 line, and got a little bit of a rounded bottom here on the MACD, finally starting to, on the price action. So finally starting to see, wrong indicator there. We're finally starting to see a bit of an uptrend, and that's what we wanted to see. So we broke out of the downtrend line. Now we've been getting a bit of an uptrend. So hopefully this continues to trend along this uptrend line, and slowly but surely, right, like I said, get back towards those higher levels, which should definitely be doable at this point. I'd say be careful. If we lose this uptrend line, it could mean that we're going to see a bit more weakness, right? So that's what's to pay attention to. Now, going over to Bitcoin, we of course lost the symmetrical triangle formation to the downside, so lost the uptrend line there, and we have our longer term uptrend line down here. We didn't come and test that. We bounced mainly off the support level at around $10,000. So that is a great sign. And it does look like we put in a bit of a short-term bottom, right, with this longer, lower wick. It seems like buyers really bought up those lower levels, and that we did put in a bit of a bottom, right, based on this formation, bit of a hammer candlestick now. That's getting confirmed with the current green candlestick. But I do want to say that we're not, back above this uptrend line or anything like that, and that's really what we would want to see to be fully in the clear. So there's still some resistance here, and I do think you should be aware of that, right? I'm going to go ahead and put in some resistance levels. It's going to be a pretty big resistance at around $12,600. So definitely be aware of that. And so we may see a little range here create in between $10,000 and then $12,700. That's definitely possible. And of course, we'll have some resistance from the previous uptrend line and downtrend line. So it's going to take a bit of time, going to have to get through all that, but overall, at least we're seeing, I think, a bottom that has been put in. And unless things get really bad and we re-break below 10,000, then, that's a whole different situation. But for now, I think the bottom has been put in, is what I'm trying to say. And the MACD still looking, still downtrending. Same thing on the histogram, so we would like to see those things flatten out and maybe start uptrending again. Let's take a look at Ethereum, see how it's been doing. So Ethereum got a pretty nasty drop here. It was actually holding up really well, but things flipped over, and of course, with the market shakiness, went all the way down to $757, which is very low actually on Coinbase, and bounced basically where all the previous support was over here. I'm going to go ahead and put in that support line. So same thing, it looks like buyers really bought up those lower levels. You can see that with the longer, lower wicks here. And the current candlestick, unfortunately, isn't breaking above the open of the previous candlestick, which it's not the end of the world. It would just be nice to see that happen. I will go ahead and put in the short-term downtrend line, though, which we haven't really broken out of yet. So we'll see if that happens. That will be a very good sign if it does, right? It'll probably mean that we're already ready to climb back higher into that $1,000 range. If we don't, though, might see it fall back a little bit lower. So just have to wait and see, really. Indicators still downtrending. So like I said, right, what I'm seeing here already on these first couple of graphs is that you have to realize that it's good that things are bouncing, but we're definitely not where we were previously, right? We still have definitely some pretty big resistance levels ahead, and I'm not saying that we can't get back above those, but it will, no matter what, take a little bit of time. So Litecoin isn't looking too bad here, actually. We got a very nice bottom put in, doji candlestick confirmed with the green candlestick, and looks like the indicators are already flattening out a little bit more than some of the other cryptos, namely Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think that's just because Litecoin was downtrending now since quite a bit of time, and that does leave the indicators, it made the indicators flatten out a bit more than the other cryptos, which is good, right? So we're going to see mainly how it acts at this $218 level. I think we have a decent chance at testing that at least. So we'll have to see once it hits that level, are we going to be able to break through that and maybe go a bit higher, or are we going to reject it and fall back lower right away, right? If that happens, then probably going to see a bit of consolidation for Litecoin. I just went ahead and threw in at around $145 is where our main support is right now. So same thing, still want to see, the indicators really flatten out and get a crossover ideally, but that may take a bit of time. Now let's take a look at Ripple and see how it's doing. So Ripple actually got a pretty strong bounce, and it looks like it's already trying to kind of break out of the downtrend line, right? It's kind of testing out of that right now. That's a very good sign. It still has to break above the $1.50 resistance level, and that's what it's trying to do right now. If it manages to do that, that's a very good sign in my opinion, because it means that it'll have already cleared out of some pretty big resistance levels right off the bat here, right at the beginning of the bounce, which could mean that it'll be ready to move back up pretty quickly towards $2. So I will be paying attention for that to happen. It looks like we also broke out of the downtrend line already on the RSI, and indicators on the MACD and histogram still not looking great, but the price action is good here, so we have to see. Maybe we won't be able to break above $1.50 right away, but if we do, I wouldn't be surprised to see it climb towards $2 already pretty quickly, and it might consolidate there because there's quite a bit of resistance based on previous candlesticks. But I think that Ripple, since it's just one of the bigger, more, highly financially backed cryptocurrencies, it's probably going to be one of the cryptos to bounce pretty quickly, right? and that's mainly, like I said, because there's some pretty big money backing Ripple. So it is one of the larger market cap cryptocurrencies right now. Let's take a look at NEO, see how NEO has been doing. So looks like it got a pretty nasty drop all the way back down to the uptrend line right over here. That got bought up really nicely though. So buyers did sustain those levels, and we even made our way back above that $139 support level, which is very good. Now even coming in and putting in a higher high, lower low, a higher low, sorry, on the current candlestick. So I wouldn't be surprised to see NEO already go back maybe and test $167 pretty soon. Will it break above that? We'll have to see, but if it doesn't, probably just in consolidation in this range over here, I think it's probably going to be one of the stronger cryptocurrencies throughout all of this. Indicator on the MACD and histogram still looking pretty good. We want to try to get back above the 70 line on the RSI to really confirm a strong bullish move higher. So not looking bad here for NEO, and like I've been saying, it's just been all around one of the stronger cryptocurrencies in the market, right? So that kind of explains why it's already recovering. Vertcoin, not looking too bad here actually. It did drop pretty low, I do have to say that, all the way down to, let's see, the low was $2.91. Made its way back above the $3.23 resistance level. Sorry, so, yeah, now it's support, and looks like it's trying to get back into, I mean, it already did, but it's getting back into the Bollinger Band range. Might head back towards $5. Obviously, that's a big resistance level. We'll have to see if it gets back above that. If it does, that's very good. Maybe that even has a chance to break back out of the downtrend line, but that's, you know, there's still some resistance here for Vertcoin, because that $5 mark isn't going to be easy to get back above. So if it doesn't, probably going to consolidate here in this range. And then we still have this looming downtrend line that's been around for quite some time, really put a lot of pressure on the price. So who knows, it might be ready to go back up, but we'll still have to get a confirmation of that. And same thing on the indicators, right? It'd be nice to get a confirmation of those turning back into the positive range fully. So let's take a look at Monero now and see how Monero has been doing. Let's take a look. Let's go on Bittrex here. And it looks like Monero got a pretty big drop all the way down, you know, below $257, got back above that, made its way back above $300, which is very good, back into Bollinger Band range as well. A lot of buying volume on that move. And the indicators still not looking great, I'm not going to lie. Still has to get above $355 to really be back to kind of where it was previously. We'll see if it manages to do so. Not impossible, but the indicators are still looking pretty weak, so it'd be nice to see those kind of come back up a bit more pretty quickly. Overall, though, I don't see Monero really dropping below $300 either way. I think that we're either going to consolidate a little bit in between $300 and $350, or pretty quickly get back above $350 and then consolidate in this higher range over here until things are really ready to make new all-time highs again. And actually, might as well point this out that Monero, at the beginning of this whole bull run that the cryptocurrencies had, Monero was actually one of the first to start that, and it continued very nicely for quite some time. So we may see that happen again when the next bull run comes around. Let's take a look at Omisego. Looks like it is bouncing here, trying to get back above $20. Got a really nice bounce off that 44 level on the RSI. That's a previous support level, so that's good. Still want to see the indicators flatten out a bit on the MACD and histogram, get that crossover. May take a little bit of time. It'd be very nice to see Omisego get back above $20. That's a pretty big resistance level, but that would mean that it has, you know, quite a bit of strength. We may not see that happen right away. It may consolidate a bit in this range, but we'll just have to wait and see. Either way, I don't think we're going to be dropping below $14.50 again. So let's take a look now at Lisk and see how Lisk has been doing. So Lisk is kind of in a similar situation to Omisego. Let's see if we broke out of the downtrend line on the RSI here. Let's take a look at that. It looks like we may have. Yeah, it looks like we are peeking out of the downtrend line on the RSI, which is a very good sign. And already coming back up a little bit on that histogram. Same thing on the MACD, but it probably will take a little bit more time to get that nice hook over back above the orange line. And it's already coming back up pretty quickly. Now, it has a lot of resistance over here at $25, right? Because that's pretty much right in line with major resistance level and the downtrend line. So it is going to be pretty hard to get back above that this time around. It always can do so, but I'd be a bit surprised. We'll just have to wait and see, right? But I would say once it gets back above $25, if that takes, you know, within the next month or something like that, then I think we're pretty much ready to start moving back up higher for Lisk. It was, one of the stronger cryptocurrencies as well over the past couple of weeks, but it did get some pretty big drops, especially recently with the market shakiness. So it is what it is. It's not the end of the world or anything like that. Let's take a look at Cardano. So Cardano was actually very strong throughout all of this pullback, and it looks like it's already kind of ready to move higher now. The indicators aren't looking that bad. We already got the RSI flattening out, same thing on the histogram. Still want to see that MACD flatten out and get that crossover, but that should happen pretty quickly based on what the price action is doing. And so what's happening with the price action is we've got a double bounce here on the uptrend line, long lower wicks, which means that buyers bought up those levels and now even managed with the market bouncing to break out of the downtrend line. We've been that for a bit of time, and so that's a very good sign, right? From this, we could already see it pretty quickly climb back towards that 7,000 Satoshi level. We had a bit of resistance in that area. The one thing that does concern me is the fact that the Bollinger Bands are kind of tightening in on the price and are contracting, which means that we may see it consolidate a little bit, but it is looking pretty strong here, so wouldn't be surprised to see it move higher in the next couple days. And pretty interesting move there by Cardano, got to say that. Let's take a look at IOTA now, see if it's getting a nice bounce as well. Looks like it's made its way above $2.63. Not that strong of a bounce, unfortunately. It is still in some of its lower levels based on where it was trading previously, so we still want to see it get back above, really I would say $3.42 for it to really be back of where it was previously. And for the indicators, not looking that great, right? It's probably going to take a little bit of time before they flatten out, so going to be looking for that. Other than that, everyone, this is the end of the daily crypto update. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.